Hey, hi. So I'm missing a crucial video when it comes to Danganronpa content. That's a tier list. And you know, the fact that I don't have one by now feels like a sin. So we're gonna rectify that right now. You know anything about me, you know I thrive on chaos. I could sit here and make a 6-hour video detailing my reasoning for putting which character where, but instead I'm just gonna try to do it as fast as possible, giving probably lackluster explanations in just a frenzied state. I'm also going to preface this by saying, it's my opinion, don't get mad at me. Listen, everyone has different opinions onto what game they like and what characters they like, so let's just all live in peace and accept that. Yes, I know my opinions are trash, you can tell me so down below. You can berate me, just don't get mad at me. Also, some of my explanations may not make any sense at all, and that's okay, we're just gonna accept that, okay? Okay. So the tier list I'm using actually has all 3 games plus Ultra Despair Girls. I went back and forth on if I should include them or not. I haven't finished that game yet. So I don't think it's fair for me to judge those characters because I don't know them well enough and I haven't finished their arcs and yada yada yada. So they're there, but we're just not gonna include them. So sorry, not sorry. Alrighty, so I have my tier list pulled up here. Thank you to whoever made it. But you can see I've made some slight modifications. Alright, jumping into S tier, I'm gonna say something that may be controversial. All the protagonists belong in S tier. Here's my reasoning. You get to know these characters through and through, slightly, you know, depending on how much you talk to them or who dies first. But the protagonist, you're stuck with the entire game, so you feel a bond to them. And honestly, even just aside from that, I like each of their individual personalities a lot, and I would fight for them. But let's go through it real quick. Makoto, an absolute cinnamon bun, a positive ray of light that we need within this series. He's an optimist, he's the symbol of hope, and I love him. Hanjime is kind of the exact opposite of Makoto in the sense that he's not very optimistic, he's actually pretty cynical. But he has an excellent character arc, he's relatable, and he's just a little cutie, we love him. Shoichi, honestly I think is a nice medley of the two. He's optimistic and tries his best, but it's kind of real, and he kind of knows that everyone's gonna die and everything's kind of futile, but he does his best. He's also a detective character, and we love detective characters around here. Kaede, only got to play for her as one trial, but boy oh boy, did she make an impact. I don't know what it was about her, but I just felt a really strong connection to her. She's really sweet and fun and optimistic, and her death crushed me. I honestly had to put down the game for like a week after that. She's also the first female protagonist. Sorry, Kamaru. Moving aside from the protagonists, we also have the shit disturbers in the A tier because I thrive on chaos and I love when things get messy. Best shit disturber I know is my boy Nagito. You either love him or you hate him. In this case, I absolutely love him. Also, aside from being a shit disturber, he's just a very interesting character in the way he views the world, and he's pretty smart. He's like on the same level as like I would say any of the detective characters in terms of intelligence, but he just likes to make a mess of things, and I respect that. Next shit disturber we got is Togami. Yeah, I get it. You don't like him. I don't like him either, but I love him. I don't know, he just makes the trials more interesting. Now, I'm guessing all of you are waiting with bated breath saying, okay, and now Kokichi, right?
Excuse me, bitch!
Listen, Kokichi's fine. He's a great guy. Another shit disturber. I know everything I said should put him in the A tier, but just in my heart of hearts, I can't put him there. I'm sorry. I just felt like he was kind of like a Nagito knockoff, and he didn't really do too much for me in terms of like pushing the game forward and adding new spunk to the trials. And yes, I can hear you all sharpening your pitchforks. Still a great character, great guy. He's just not quite an I love you bitch. He's more of just a crispy boy. Another grade A character who's not a shit disturber or a protagonist, but just has a special place in my heart. Kirigiri, detective character. We love her. She's a great sidekick to Makoto. A good time all around. Okay, now that we got our S tier figured out, I'm just gonna kind of go through the list of all the other characters and place them as I feel they belong. We got Chihiro, who I really like, but you don't really get to know her that much because she, you know, dies pretty early. I don't know if it's fair to link her and Alter Ego together. I'm gonna put her in the I got nothing against all. She's cool, she's great, she's adorable, but at the end of the day, doesn't really stick too much in my memory. Celeste I'm gonna put in Crispy Boys. She's on the level of being a shit disturber, but not quite there. But she's extremely interesting, her character is really cool, and I love her design. Sahina's a crispy boy. Love her design, love her voice acting, love her character. We love an optimistic little peach. Tanko I'm gonna put in I got the nothing against you. She's a cool character, she's nice and all. She's a strong, independent woman who don't need no man or really even wants a man. She's not really that much of a memorable character as some of the other ones, but she's plenty nice. She's got her own interesting arc with the whole Himiko thing. So, yeah, she's cool, Ifumi, I got nothing against you, but I also don't have to say that much about you. You got manipulated, which I'm on the fence about, because I mean, who wouldn't fall for Celeste's charm? But like, come on. I don't think Monokuma really counts as a character. I mean, obviously he does. So we're just gonna put him in the I love you bitch category because he's always there and he's just the mascot of the game. Hero, I don't know how to feel about. Realistically, he should go in the meh category because he's kind of useless, but I also kind of relate to him in terms of his uselessness, so he's going in the I got nothing against y'all category. Now, I said I wasn't going to involve Ultra Despair girls, but I don't feel like I've had a choice because in some ways it has affected my opinions on some of these characters. Toko being one of them. I like her a lot more now that I've played most of Ultra Despair girls. Honestly, if I were just to rate her on Trigger Happy Havoc, she'd probably be in the meh, I got nothing against you. But you know what, now she is upgraded to a crispy boy, congratulations. She's interesting, she's fun, she's got the sass, and she's a good little hero for the group. I'm gonna say Genocide Jack is the same as Toko, so we're just gonna plop them both in there. Mondo, I got nothing against you, but honestly, your big strong boy attitude wasn't really doing it for me. His arc is interesting, he's fine enough, again, not really super memorable in my opinion, but I like his relationship with Taka. Which brings me to Taka, you're hanging out with your boy, and I got nothing against you. I do find him a bit more funny with some of his dialogue and just his overall personality, but again, in terms, he doesn't quite reach crispy boy status, but he's close. He's right on the, I'd say he's more on the cusp than Mondo is. I don't like Leon. I just don't. To be honest, he might have been a more interesting character had we got to know him, but he's the first murderer, so I automatically just don't like him. Also, I knew he was sus from the beginning. The minute someone died, I was like, that was definitely Leon. No explanation needed. Sakura, got nothing against her. Again, nothing too memorable. I like her relationship with Asahina, but it wasn't that exciting for me. It didn't really move me too much. Immediately no. You know why? The game devs don't like her. So there she belongs. Junko I'm gonna put in S tier because, again, she's kind of on the same level of Monokuma as I feel like she's just like the central antagonist for the game. I also just think she's interesting. I like her design, she's fun, she's crazy, she's what she is. Nekomaru, I got nothing against. His arc was kind of weird in 2 where he like died and then came back to life as a robot and then died immediately after, but he's fine, I guess. I don't know, he's fun, he's strong. We like a big, bold and brash, lovable giant. Ibuki, she's fun, she's a little loud, very similar to Tenko in that sense. I think they even have the same voice actress, but again, not super memorable. Her death was sad though. I was sad to see her go. Teru put in the meh, mostly just because he makes me uncomfortable. I don't actually remember this guy's real name, so that just kind of goes to show that he's a meh. He's an interesting character, but you don't really get to know him at all because he's just pretending to be Togami, so it's kind of like, Chiaki is an S tier because, again, she is your buddy, she's your homie. She also plays an integral role in the game's story and twist, so there she belongs. And she's also just a little cutie. Soda? Maybe surprising, but he's a crispy boy. I don't know, man, I liked Soda. I thought he was funny. I liked his dynamic with Hajime a lot. Hajime was so done with him all the time, and it entertained me. Monami is a crispy boy. I love Monami. She's so sweet and fun. She's not quite S tier because she doesn't make that big of an impact in the whole series, but I love her. She's great. I was very suspicious of her for 90% of the game, but she's great. I know. A lot of people really like Mikan. I don't know that feeling. I don't know, dude. Like, I know the whole point of it was that she was, like, supposed to be klutzy and, like, oh, it's satire on fan service, but I don't know, it just, every time she came on screen, I just couldn't deal with her. Honestly, the only time I found her remotely interesting was when she went crazy at the end of her trial and then was, like, turned out to be a Junko worshipping person. Other than that, zero interest. Hyoko's not all that interesting. I didn't really like her. All she did for the rest of the game was kind of complain and berate people. Again, I know that was her character, but I don't know, it just didn't do it for me. Mihiro's another meh. She's okay. She's not bad. She's just not quite as memorable as the other characters. Mind you, I didn't do her free time event, and I've heard she's really great in that, so maybe I just missed out and I'm an idiot, but whatever. She's in meh for now. Peko, I got nothing against. I think she's really sweet. I think I didn't really like her character until her relationship with Kazuichi was revealed, but up until then, she was just kind of like a fine character. She was cool and all, but it was really her trial that really set it over the edge for me. Kamakura is a crispy boy. How could he not be?
Kamakura, yes, queen!
Sonia's a crispy boy. I like Sonia. At first I didn't because she had a very like Maizono energy, but she's just like a very jaded person with very optimistic attitude, and I respect that. Gundam's a crispy boy. He's just so fun and interesting. Again, similar to Sonia, which I think is why they go well together, but he's kind of the opposite, where he has like a really like dark exterior, but just like a super cinnamon bun interior. Kazuichi, absolutely a crispy boy. Honestly, verging on an I love you bitch territory. His arc is probably one of my favorites in the series. he goes from being a character you absolutely despise to being one of your favorites. And I just think he's really sweet and really nice, and he's just a really good addition to the cast. Akane, I got nothing against. She's kind of loud and obnoxious, but I don't dislike her. She just kind of like, meh. When she appeared in the scene, I was like, there she is, and when she left, there she went. Kurumi's a character I wish I got to know more, because she seems interesting. The twist about her being like the president or whatever was kind of weird. So I'm just gonna put her in and I got nothing against y'all. I feel like had I gotten to know her character a little better, I would have liked her, because I really liked her design and her voice actress and just her vibe, but she was gone pretty quick, so I didn't get to learn much. Listen, incest isn't wincest, so that's where you belong. Maki, S tier. Great character, great arc. I feel like her, Kaito, and Shuichi just had a really great trio. It warmed my heart. It made me happy. I don't really want to talk about you a whole lot. I don't know, dude. She's just so like... Every time she opened her mouth, I just couldn't handle it. It was too much. The whole student council thing was my least favorite part of the game, and she was the reason for that. Kaito, I love you, bitch. As I said with Maki, you're part of the trio, the iconic trio, similar to like how Hajime has how Hajime has Chiaki, how Makoto has Kirigiri. They were kind of like a little trifecta, and they made the game really sweet. Rentaro, I got nothing against you. Again, a really interesting character I wish I got to know better or learn a little bit more about, but yeah, there he is for now, because that's all I got to know. I'm gonna put her in the meh, just because she didn't really strike a chord. I don't know. Her like pre-twist self was just kind of whatever. She just kind of blended in, and I was kind of at the point of I was like, why is she still here? And then her like twist self being Junko or whatever was just like, okay, it was just kind of weird. Ryoma, I'm gonna put in the I got nothing against you category. He's a fine character, didn't really do much for me, not a huge fan of his design, he's just kind of there. Kibo, I love Kibo, I'm gonna put him in a crispy boy. Realistically, I actually didn't get to know Kibo that much, but I just think he's just a little cutie. Miu, oh man, she's right on the cusp. She's like, right? She could either be a low tier crispy boy or a high tier I got nothing against you. You know, she's a crispy boy. She's deserved it. She's been through enough. She was a little loud and obnoxious, but I feel like she had a good dynamic with a few of the characters, and I liked her design, and I liked her presence. I don't like any of the Monokuma babies. Sorry, not sorry. They're all going in meh just because they weren't very memorable and they did not add much to the game for me. Gonta was one of those characters I feel like obligated to like, which is kind of a weird thing. Just because he was just so cute and sweet, but realistically he just didn't really do too much. He was manipulated a lot by Kokichi, but that was about pretty much all he did. So I'm gonna say I got nothing against you. Cutie, we love them, but we don't love them that much. Himiko's right on the cusp for me. I'm not really sure what to do with her because for most of the game I didn't really like her, not gonna lie. But I do like her art quite a bit, and her relationship, well, I guess not really her relationship, but her effect her relationship with Tenko had on her arc. So you know what, we're gonna say she's a crispy boy. She made it to the end of the game, so I grew to like her quite a bit at that point. You know, I think we did that under like 15 minutes, so I call that a win. My explanations are probably terrible, and I probably went on a lot of tangents, and editing this back I'm gonna be like, what? But let me know what you guys think down below and how wrong I am. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, afternoon, evening. Let me know if there's any other tier lists, Danganronpa or otherwise, you think I should do. Maybe next time I will set a time limit and see how fast I can do it. Have a good one. Bye.